Hey guys, and welcome back to another Mystery Bit video right here on Tetrabit Gaming, the series where I explore mysterious or unsolved video game rumors, stories, and happenings. In this video, we will be taking another trip back to the 80s and we'll explore probably the most well-known glitch in all of retro gaming, the minus or negative world in Super Mario Bros. As always, really quickly before we start, if at any point you guys do enjoy the video, please be sure to slap a like down below. It seriously helps the channel out a lot. So here we go, let's dive into Mario's first parallel universe. Although games nowadays are littered with bugs and glitches upon release, and there are many people actively seeking glitches for speedrunning and other purposes, in the 80s glitches weren't as well known amongst the general gaming community. So as you can imagine, when many people first found out about the Minus World in the third Nintendo Power issue, it definitely had them excited. But before that, rumors for a secret ninth world in Super Mario Bros. First started when a fan wrote to the Japanese Famicom magazine and said that after a lightning strike occurred really close to his house, he uncovered a new, never-before-seen level, and he even included photographic evidence. How true this story was, nobody really knows, but eventually one of the writers that was working on the Super Mario Bros. Strategy guide mentioned that not only did he find this ninth world, but there are actually a total of 256 worlds in the game. And he wasn't wrong, but we'll get back to that later. So what is the Minus World? Being one of the most well-known glitches in a video game, I assume most of you already know at least a little bit about the Minus World, but if not, here's a quick rundown. At the end of the second level in Super Mario Bros., there is a way to go over the L-shaped pipe you normally are supposed to take to complete the level. If you do this, you will reach the first warp zone in the game, which gives you the option to take a shortcut to the second, third, or fourth world. There is, however, another less than standard way to get to this warp zone. By standing on the L-shaped pipe at the end of the level and breaking a few blocks, the player can start trying to jump backwards into this block. There are other ways to do this, but this is how I've always found it to be the easiest. Eventually, if you do it right, Mario will glitch into the wall and will automatically be pushed towards the warp zone. But you'll notice that the camera doesn't follow Mario. Once inside the warp zone, you'll see all three pipes just as normal. However, this time, if you decide to take the pipe in the middle, you will get taken to World 5 instead of World 3 like you normally would. And if you take either the left or right pipe, you will be instead taken to the Minus World, an underwater level that is basically identical to World 7-2. Well, that's because it really is World 7-2, it's just called as a different number. The interesting thing about this level is that even if you get to the warp pipe at the end, it will just take you all the way back to the start, effectively soft locking the game as Mario is now trapped here for all eternity, or at least until you press the reset button. So why does this happen in the first place? Long story short, by glitching through the wall, Mario gets into the warp zone before it can properly load the values that are normally assigned to the warp pipes. Instead, the values are loaded from the World 4-2 warp zone, in which only one warp pipe to World 5 exists. This explains why the middle pipe takes us to World 5 instead of 3 by doing the glitch. And because the spaces to the left and right in the 4-2 warp zone are blank, the left and right pipe you take after glitching through the wall will instead take you to World blank-1, or as we all know it, the Minus World. Fun fact, the blank tile number in Super Mario Bros. Is the number 36, so Minus World is really actually World 36-1. There is a lot of misinformation about the technical reasoning for the Minus World out there, as well as a lot of stuff I don't even understand. So I highly recommend checking out Magic Scrumpy's video on the Minus World if you would like to have a little bit more of an in-depth technical explanation. As I mentioned in my Super Mario Bros. Lost Bits video, there are several other glitchy levels that can be played in the game by playing around with some level modifier codes. A whopping 256 worlds in fact exist in this game, just like the strategy guide writer mentioned earlier. Granted, most of these aren't really playable, but some are still pretty neat and feature odd tileset placements, enemies, and more. Like World T-1 or 29-1 for example, which features solid clouds, random enemy placement, and more. Again, if you would like to see gameplay of more of these, check out Deco the Dragon on YouTube, as he showcases many of them on his channel. There is also another Minus World in Super Mario Bros. That not as many people know or seem to talk about. This is the Minus World found in the Japanese version of the game for the Famicom. The method to reach it is the same as in the other versions of the game, but the end result is quite different. This time, instead of being taken to a clone of World 7-2, Mario gets taken to a clone of what would be normally the next level in the game, World 1-3, but not as all as it seems. First of all, Mario is now underwater, and the color palette of the level matches this as well. Not only that, but two creepy floating Princess Toadstools are found throughout the level, as well as a headless Bowser out to get his revenge. It should also be noted that normally we never get to see any underwater end flagpoles, let alone castles in any segment in this game. So I think it's pretty cool that we get to see them here. Also, unlike the other Minus World, you can actually complete this level, however you have to be careful, for if you end the level too high on the flagpole, the game will softlock. Alright, now moving on to World Minus 2. This level is a copy of World 7-3, and there really isn't much here that is of interest. As you'd expect, Mario can now get to World Minus 3, which again is a copy of another level, this time World 4-4. The difference here is that the maze component in the level is missing, as is the Bowser at the end. Another difference is that the unused above ground blooper enemies can also be seen here, which give the player 1,000 points when stomped on. These bloopers didn't make an official appearance until the Japanese version of Super Mario Bros. 2. Also, after jumping on the axe at the end of the level, you will still get the usual Toad message telling Mario that the princess is in another castle. However, no Toad is actually here. After this part is unfortunately where the Japanese Minus World stops. After completing World Minus 3, you get taken back to the title screen, but this time if you start a new game, you will start a sort of hard mode like you normally do when you complete the game. In this hard mode, among a few other changes, Goombas are now replaced with Buzzy Beetles, and elevator platforms are much smaller. And that's all for this Mystery Bit video on the Minus World, guys, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to check out my Super Mario Bros. Lost Bits video and other interesting mystery bits over at my channel. And if you would like to stay up to date with me and the channel, be sure to subscribe, follow me on all of my other social media sites, and also join my new Discord server as well. Links to all of those will be in the description below. And as always, guys, thank you all so much for watching the video today and for all of your amazing support, and I will see you in a bit.